I've been told that I talk about Five Nights at Freddy's way too much in Adventures in Bootleg, and that may be true. Did you know that half of the episodes of Adventures in Bootleg in total feature or at least mention Five Nights at Freddy's to some capacity? That's why I've invented the non-FNAF bag. This is a modified backpack containing bootleg items from franchises other than Five Nights at Freddy's. Well, look at that. It's Pokemon Brown version. Yeah, you remember Generation 1 of Pokemon? Red, blue, green, and yellow, right? Well, no, here comes Pokemon Brown. This is the first Pokemon ROM hack I'd ever heard about that was on the Game Boy. The vast majority of Pokemon ROM hacks are on the GBA, and this goes above and beyond considering the limitations the Game Boy has. Pokemon Brown version takes place in its own region, it has its own maps, and some evolution and moves have changed as well. The one thing I can't wrap my head around is how there appear to be two versions of Brown version, one where the cartridge has Terrakion, the Gen 5 legendary on it, and some that have Spearow or some variation of that. Either way, again, on the Game Boy, very impressive. Well, speak of the devil, it's a Game Boy Advance Pokemon ROM hack. This is Pokemon Darkrai, not Darkrai as in the Pokemon, Darkrai, and that may be a typo. Unlike Pokemon Brown, which is genuinely innovative, this is one of the most infamous Pokemon ROM hacks of all time, popularised at first by a Nuzlocke run done by Pro Jared all those years ago. You play as the Gen 4 model of the Pokemon trainer rather than the one from Fire Red, which is the ROM hack of, which is incredibly impressive. They didn't recreate the character from Diamond and Pearl on the DS, but they knocked the sprite out of a DS game and put it in the Game Boy Advance. Like Pokemon Brown, this takes place in its own region, it has some new Pokemon, but some of the cries are wrong and there are some things that still haven't been ironed out properly. Now you can't talk about Pokemon Darkrai version without mentioning its fatal flaw. You can't beat it. That's right, you can only infamously get up to the second gym before you reach a wall and can't challenge the gym leader. The game is about half an hour long. Unless some mastermind can make a Game Shark code to walk through walls for a Pokemon ROM hack, there's no way to get past the second badge. Maybe there's an invisible wall none of us have discovered yet. It isn't like the ROM hack was particularly popular. Join me next time because I have a lot more ROM hacks to go through.